Hello, hello, hello. Happy New Year, my dear community. For some of you, this is your first time visiting my channel. I want to welcome you to see my channel. My name is Wei-Jen, and I help people to attract their lifestyle and love by expanding awareness, self-love, and energy vibration. So it's 2024, guys. How are you guys doing and feeling today, right now? Well, I hope you all had a fabulous holiday, and I do. I had a fabulous holiday season with lots of ease, quietness, peace, and Mother Nature. Because I usually I take a walk when sunny day here, and I take a walk without having my phone, without any music or AirPods. So that is something that I've been experiencing it quite a lot lately, and I found that is way peaceful, more peaceful than having my music with me and my phone with me. So it's something that I want to share with you guys. Okay, so today the topic that I want to talk about is when we change, and we make a conscious decision to change our perspective, our attitude, and our perception, right? We change our energy vibration. We elevate our energy vibration, and we liberate for those things, those energy that they don't serve us. So that is something that I'm so excited that I want to share with you guys. And please forgive me if I'm being, too vulnerable with you guys that make you feel overwhelmed. I just want to be a vulnerable and authentic and transparent and then honest with myself and with you guys. Because, being on this channel, I don't have that intention and I don't have that interest to present myself that, I'm living in this la la land. Everything appears so peaceful, so happy, that kind of lifestyle to you guys. That is not my intention to be here. I'm here because I want to invite you guys to walk on this journey with me, and we can hold each other's hands, hold each other's space, and keep each other accountable to walk on our individual, the journey that we are walking together. Even though geographically, physically, we're very far away from each other, and this is the video that I recorded, right? So, I have experienced lately about this exercise that, when the things don't go the way that I expect or that I prefer, right, that gives me a sense, that gives me a certain reaction that may be negative and that maybe doesn't serve me at all. It does not help the situation at all. Okay, so to give you an example, um, for some of you may know that I've been having some difficulties, some rough times in my marriage, and of course, my spouse, he has all the rights, all the freedoms to do whatever he wants to do as an adult. He's a man, okay? And I also am very aware that I have a choice to decide how do I want to respond instead of react. And I have a choice to decide what meaning do I want to give to certain things or decisions that he makes or he behaves, right? Or he acts. So that is very important, right? However, I'm not going to do these things or demonstrate it every single time perfectly. I'm not a Mother Teresa. So lately, I had this reaction, the negative, reaction or thought or energy or mindset towards to a specific things that he did. Okay. And of course, externally on the surface level, I didn't show, that negative thought, feelings, and perspective, right? I was a little bit judgmental. I was, to be honest, I was a little bit judgmental, and then I had these thoughts within myself. I had these thoughts internally. Of course, I didn't share or um, mm, I didn't share with anybody, and I didn't let it, to control me to take any um, external, actions, right? So that is good, but I just noticed that I had this negative reaction, such as being judgmental, and then also victimize myself, having some self pity, right? And blaming and criticizing, right? And some self righteousness there, to be honest. And then just think that it's his fault. It's all his fault because he made this such decision. So therefore, I get to suffer, right? I get to feel the way that I felt, and so I I allow myself to feel those feelings because the more I could feel those feelings and be in touch with those feelings, the deeper root that I get to be in touch with what exactly got me to feel all these feelings and even have all these thoughts. And so I experienced a moment where the more that I was feeling those feelings, that inner child came out. And that inner child told me that she was being abandoned, right? And that's the feeling why I was feeling those abandonment feelings at that moment. And so I had to sit with that inner child, through meditation, through journaling, or through a walk, around nature, and then ask my spiritual self for guidance. So I had my coach guided me to do a meditation, and this meditation is very different than um, the other meditation that I usually do, right? This meditation is to put myself into my shoes and then look at my relationship with my spouse for a moment and then ask myself, how do I feel? What do I want? What is it that I feel that is unfair and I feel even hurt, right? So that is something that I was wearing Wei-Jen's glasses to view this marriage. And of course, that contains a lot of judgments there when I was viewing this marriage, this relationship from Wei-Jen's perspective. And hear me out. The next moment, my coach guided me. Okay, now we're going to switch the seat. You're not Wei-Jen. You are Wei-Jen's husband. And you are wearing these glasses of being Wei-Jen's husband to view this relationship. How do you feel as Wei-Jen's husband? What are your needs? What is your desire, right? And what makes you feel hurt that you may do this such thing or make such certain decisions in this current reality, right? The next question is quite important when I was being asked, while I was being this glasses of being Wei-Jen's husband, is that how do I want Wei-Jen to support me, even I am not the best of myself right now, even I made a mistake, even the choice or the decisions that I make may not seem to be so wise or may not seem that is a right decision for both of us, right? How do I still want Wei-Jen to support me? And I had this epiphany that my next response, as I was being in this position of being in my husband's shoes, the answer came out very spontaneously and very intuitively as well. Is that I had this answer that, I want Wei-Jen to be there for me, and with unconditional love. And that will seem like, she's holding a space for me. She's not criticizing me. She's just there for me and listen and giving, you know, undivided attention. Just listen and not judging me, not trying to fix me or advise me unless I ask, right? So that is how I want Wei-Jen to be there for me, to support me. And the other question that I got to ask when I was sitting in his position is that what lessons has Wei-Jen taught me or guided me to learn from this chapter or to learn from our marriage, our relationship? And I can see that my next moment, the answer came up to me is that there are some past trauma that has nothing to do with our marriage, has nothing to do with Wei-Jen, that I really need to work on that, because it seems like it's being appeared in the same way with the same pattern over and over and over with the different faces. And in this case, it's just, this happened with Wei-Jen. So having that moment, that epiphany, and that perspective also brings me back to my own identity as Wei-Jen, that reminds me that there are some stuff, there are some external reality, I have nothing to do with it. So therefore, I have a choice to not take things personally, because it's not my responsibility to fix some of the stuff that I don't even have anything to do with it. Other people, they already have their homework that they need to work on that even before they met me or I met them. And that is also very interesting, is that, part of the reason why we bonded with each other, because we everything that another person, regardless what they do, what they say, or how they feel about us, right? It's all a mirror that is reflect that how we think, how we feel about ourselves. And that also includes the homework that we as an individual that we need to work on ourselves. That homework also reflects to that mirror. That mirror, it can be another person. In this case, it will be my husband, right? And so it's just a reminder, it's just a mirror that reflects back to me, to remind myself to see myself, the things that I need to work on myself, and how I view and how I perceive me, right? So in the end, what do I want to do with these conclusions or these thoughts, right? In the end, I realized that we all have choice. I could continue to feel the way that I felt before I started to do this perspective, meditation, by being in different shoes, right? And then continue to be a victim and blaming my husband, blaming others, blaming the external reality. Or I can also choose a different decision by make a conscious decision to tell myself that I'm going to be happy. I'm going to continue to feel grateful and appreciate this chapter, appreciate my husband. Because of him, I get to see the things that I need to work on myself, or I get to see or remind myself that, this is an opportunity for me to practice not taking things personally, for especially when it comes to the things that I don't even have anything to do with it, right? And so I can look at it that way. And you know what? I think this is what I realized lately is that, man or woman, whether you're a man or you're a woman, right? When a person, a strong person, a person when they are very strong internally, the strongest person, let's just put it that way, the strongest person is not actually how much they make or what kind of car they have or how many houses they have. To me today, when the person is very strong, very solid internally, that looks like to me is that they are not going to let outside internal reality, whether it's an incident, experience, or a person, or a job, or how much they make. They're not going to let those things to affect their internal state of being. And instead, especially when they're facing some challenges in their life, they can still have that ability to maintain their serenity, peace, and the ease and being calm within themselves in that chaotic environment. That to me, that is what when the person being strong, that looks like, that image looks like. So I want to invite you to challenge yourself, you know, and to experiment, to play around with it by making a different choices internally, by putting yourself into a different perspective, by imagine, you're wearing your friends or your family or your spouse's their glasses and then look at the whole situation. Because not only that you will be able to come up with different choice to decide how are you going to take within you, but also you're going to come with a lot of compassion, forgiveness, and understanding with the whole situation, whether it's a relationship or whether it's an incident. So that is something that I want to invite you to experiment that within you, because only you know what is the truth, and then how to be in so deep touch with your intuition, with your spiritual guide, with your true authentic self. So that is my share for today. I hope you find this video is helpful to you. If you like my video, feel free to like my video and even share and even leave the comment and subscribe my channel. Again, I want to thank you for spending your time and then, your energy to watch my video. I so appreciate your effort and I wish you have a fabulous day. Happy New Year. Namaste.